All right, let's talk about Brock Purdy, who, in an opportunity to get redemption against a team that beat him in the Super Bowl just recently, he ultimately, plays poorly in this one. This is one of the worst games we've seen from Purdy. The box score is horrible. I think there was some good stuff here, and we will talk about the positives that happened. They did nearly get back into this game, but let's also talk about why ultimately they weren't able to win it. Yeah, let's just get into it. Let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is it's, early on in the game, they're going to run a design bootleg towards the bottom of the screen. You have a receiver's route that's going to be going more over the middle. It's against man coverage, and that's the one that you're going to look at if you're Brock Purdy. Purdy takes a snap, and right off the bat, you see why he likes this situation, right? In terms of the one-on-one matchup right here, it is working. There is a window. Here's the issue. Keep in mind, there's a safety over there who could come in and make a play, and for Purdy, that is just something he has to be aware of. As you see, when Purdy fires this one down the field, I think he just didn't realize Justin Reed is kind of getting in front of this route right here, which is, again, it's something you have to be aware of right now, and Purdy just wasn't. Because of that, this gets intercepted, so not a good play there, certainly, on a 1st down and 10. You don't want to be turning the ball over. So, again, just an issue, right? I'm sure saw the player open, and you see why he wanted to make this throw, but this is something you just have to be aware of, especially against Kansas City. They do move their safeties around a bunch, so it is trickier against them, but this is a bad play by Purdy. And going over here, they just had some unforced errors, I thought. Like, this play, it's a 3rd down and 12, so, okay, it's going to be hard to convert a 3rd down and 12, you would assume. However, when Purdy takes the snap, they had Brandon Ayuk open, but it almost looked like they weren't fully on the same page there. It was kind of a weird play. I'm not sure if Purdy thought that Ayuk was going to just kind of straighten out that route a little bit more, or if he just missed one. It's kind of hard to say, really. This play was another similar thing where you see Purdy's, going to just throw one up, and that, huge play in the game, right? Down 2 points with 20 minutes left in the game on a 3rd down and 6. You can get the field goal if you don't convert here. Maybe you don't make the field goal. You want the 1st down. But honestly, they had the 1st down. Had them, they just been on the same page. The receiver was open. It's a communication thing that results in, instead of a 1st down and almost certainly taking the lead, giving the ball back to Mahomes and the Chiefs. Of course, this play as well, Brandon Ayuk ultimately went out in this game, but before he did, drops that open pass. That was another opportunity to put up some points here. This was a drive that they ultimately did not score on because that was a 3rd down. They had to punt the ball away. So again, so often in football, the story of the game is told on 3rd downs, and right here, playing this poorly on 3rd downs, it's going to make the offense more difficult. It just is. But let's talk about why it was harder for them to make things work on, pre-3rd down situations, like a 2nd down and 8. This is what the Chiefs were doing a lot of, and it's what the Chiefs do in general. They play a lot of man coverage like they're doing right here. You see Purdy takes a snap, runs a play action, nothing really is open, and because there was pressure, gets sacked pretty quickly. So, okay, definitely not an ideal situation there for San Francisco and for the 49ers. But there are ways to counter something like this, and we saw in kind of the way that the 49ers were able to get back in this game was by doing things to counteract this type of coverage. For example, this play, which is a 3rd down and 4 situation. So this is a 3rd down. Okay, key spot right here. But again, I think time and distance is also important to note here. There's only 1 minute and 24 seconds left in the half. The Niners are down 11 points. So being able to convert here would be key. And they're going to try a kind of clever way to try and beat man coverage here. You see that route right there. That's actually George Kittle's route. Yes, George Kittle is in motion like this currently in the backfield. Again, San Francisco, they do things differently than a lot of other teams do. And so trying to cover Kittle, who's currently almost in the backfield right here, definitely difficult. But watch as when Purdy takes the snap, Kittle gets wide open. Some pressure kind of disrupts Purdy's footwork a little bit. And I'm going to be honest, this still wasn't a great throw from Purdy. I think you would have liked to see him throw this one a lot further down the field. But Kittle was so open, it didn't matter. They were able to pick up a big completion. So needed that. That kind of helped them on this drive, get things going. So that was definitely a really key play in this one. And then on the next drive, after that Kittle play helped set up a field goal to make it an 8-point game, this helped set up a touchdown, which they would not score the extra point on. But still, the play itself, again, a 3rd down and 10. And sometimes for a quarterback, when you see man coverage, sometimes you're the one who has to make a play, right? You are an option on every play. Every play, there is an option to scramble, right? Purdy takes a snap. It's again what Kansas City does, playing really good coverage. So for Purdy, who's looking down the field, maybe doesn't love what he sees anywhere, which is okay because he can move. And as you see, move he does. He is going to do a really good job of being able to nearly pick up the first down. It looked like he was pretty close, but they ruled him not past the first down marker. However, on a 4th and 1, they decided to go for it, and they converted. So that helped set up the ultimate touchdown that brought them within 2. And now let's go over here. So this is, a key spot in the game. So the Chiefs just had, Mahomes a couple of incredible runs to get into the end zone for a touchdown. They go for it on 4th down and goal and convert. But the 49ers make some nice plays, to get a receiver open down the field and are able to get inside the 10 on their own right. Of course, now they have to get into the end zone, and really, they don't have to get into the end zone. I mean, you're currently in a situation where you're down 9 due to the missed extra point. That definitely stings right now. But you need 2 scores. There's still a decent amount of time left, 9.5 minutes left, but you need a score here. You just do. So for the Chiefs, again, it's hard to throw it into the end zone in these situations. They have 2 players who are going to be covering, kind of over the middle. So a lot of times you have to be careful to not throw in the double coverage here. You see the route on the screen that that Purdy's going to look towards right here. However, when he takes the snap, it's just not really open. I mean, in fact, even if there wasn't double coverage, this isn't open, and there's double coverage. So, this is just clearly not the throw Purdy should be making. The only thing I can assume is that pre-snap, this is the throw he wanted to make, and now he's just going to decide that he's still going to throw it in there. And, listen, I'll also say this. There is a time and place to play maybe a bit too aggressive, and, this is one of those times where pushing it does make sense, because as much as I'm sitting here and saying you need a score here, you need at least 3, at the end of the day, I mean, the Chiefs are very much likely to be able to score, of their own. Maybe they get a field goal on their next drive, and if you settle for 3, now you're down 2 scores again. So getting the touchdown is still, it's okay to play aggressive here. That's all I'm trying to say. But here, Purdy also got hit as he was thrown, but that was going to be intercepted either way, and it gets intercepted. Just not a good decision by Purdy. So again, these are bad plays, and you can't beat. It's hard to beat a Chiefs team making no mistakes. You certainly can't beat them making this many mistakes. And now the 49ers, who I still think are a very good team, are 3-4 at this point. I mean, they're not even in a playoff spot. Forget leading the division. In fact, they're currently 11th in the NFC, so they're not even really close to a playoff spot right now. They can turn it around. Of course they can turn it around, but they can't keep doing stuff like this. They have to play better than this if they're going to, go for a run, go on a run here. I mean, they play the Cowboys next week. Okay, that's a winnable game. They play the Buccaneers. That should be a competitive game. Play the Seahawks again, who they've beaten, the Packers. These are winnable games, but not easy games. And even the Bills, the Bears are next. Yeah, I think that they're better than what their record indicates, but at a certain point, you got to rack up more wins or it's not going to matter. So yeah, we'll see what they do. But those are my thoughts here on the 49ers. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.